Good morning. Good morning. I want to make sure I'm on it said that it had disconnected, but I think I'm on live. Yeah, so good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 7:04. Just jumped on a minute early just so I can send out the notification that I'm on. Still getting my camera together. How's everybody doing this wonderful Friday? We have made it to the end of another week. And the best part is we've made it to the end of our Movement May series. This month has been all about movement, leaving what's behind and moving into a new season of our lives. And everyone thinks it's, a season means a new transformation. It can mean all of those things. But really what we're doing is walking boldly into the person and the life that we truly want to live. And a lot of times that we want to do it, slow walking it. But movement is required if we're going to reach our destination. You can't get where you're going if you stay at home. You just can't sit around and wait. You have to move toward your destination. So it's a happy Friday. Come on in, take a breath, settle your spirit, get comfortable in your place. Grab your favorite coffee, tea, water, whatever it is you need. Even grab a journal, pad, piece of paper, if you'd like to take some notes. And we made it through another week, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Good morning, Anita. Good morning, Miss Gay. Good morning, Renee. Thank y'all for jumping in and blessing me with your presence this morning and saying hello. It means so much more than you know when I see you in the chat. And so this whole month, this Movement May has been about shifting, stretching, and stepping into the life that God has for you or your higher power. For the last 4 weeks, we've been building something. We've been strengthening something. We've been stretching it, and we've been preparing for it. Because week 1, we talked about how to move emotionally. Week 2, we talked about moving mentally. Week 3, we talked about moving spiritually. And then last week, we talked about what's moving physically and practically. And even though you didn't know it, what we were doing was building the stamina to run. And today, we're going to close out Movement May that's going to meet us right where we need to be as we get ready to leave the Red Sea. Because God didn't prepare you to walk out of Egypt. He prepared you to outrun whatever's trying to drag you back. Now, we've been using the story of Pharaoh, the children of Israel, leaving Egypt, crossing the Red Sea, and going. But that's been a metaphor about crossing into your own promised land goal vision. This is not about religion. It's about the moment. Leaving a relationship, job, insert your thing here. That's your focus. Because when you start living rent-free, people are going to chase you. And while every sermon I've ever heard, not ever heard, but most sermons talk about, or most teachings talk about focusing on the crossing of the Red Sea. One of the most powerful things that goes often overlooked, and it's also a great coaching tool, is to talk about why Pharaoh was chasing them. So just quick recap. In this story, the children of Israel have been freed by Moses, and they're leaving Egypt. They've packed everything they own, and they're going into their promised land. Pharaoh sets them free, but begins to chase them afterwards. And so why did Pharaoh start chasing them? It wasn't because Pharaoh didn't chase them because he certainly cared about them. He didn't chase them because he loved them. He didn't chase them because he needed them. Pharaoh chased them because he thought he was entitled. He believed he owned them. He believed that they had no right to walk away. He believed that their freedom was a threat to their power. And when he realized that they were really gone, when he realized they were actually stepping into a new life, he said, no, I'm going after them. And so Pharaoh didn't chase them because he needed them. He chased them because he was entitled. He thought, well, I own them. They're my property. They don't have the responsibility or the freedom to make their own decisions. Does that sound like anybody you know, a job, a person, that they chase you because they think they're entitled? And that's what happens exactly in our lives. Once you start living free, when you really start healing, when you start choosing yourself, when you start walking in alignment in your purpose, the things that once controlled you will try to chase you. It's that same spirit that shows up in our lives, people, patterns, and places that feel entitled to your old self. When you start really picking you, the very people who benefited from your brokenness, all of a sudden they're like, wait. She can't get whole. He can't get whole. How dare you put yourself first? How dare you have needs? You've always put me first. You've always made me the priority. You've always made this job, this life, my health, your responsibility. How dare you try to take on the responsibility of yourself? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You have set this standard that you will bend over backwards like a tree, like a palm tree, to meet their needs. But when the moment arrives, you go, wait a minute now, I can't keep doing this. Where am I in the process? When you really truly learn what's in the cup is for me, the overflow is for everybody else. The very people who benefited from your brokenness will start to chase you. So some people only loved you when you were small. Some relationships only worked when you were shrinking. Some relationships only worked because you didn't ask for anything. Some relationships work because you were willing to settle for what you got versus what you deserved. Some environments only felt safe as long as you were silent. As long as you were complicit, the relationship was safe. As long as you were going with the crowd, everything was cool. As long as you was willing to go hang out, drinking, gossiping, spending, you were cool. The moment you said, no, that's not my priority. No, that's not what I'm trying to do with this life of mine. No, I don't want that. And now they're chasing. Not because they miss you, not because they value you all of a sudden. It's because they believe they are owed. Listen to this. They believe that they are owed part of your healing and success. You wouldn't be or have what you have without them. Or worse, they're like Pharaoh. They believe your freedom is a threat to their power over you. I'm going to repeat that again. They believe that your freedom is a threat to the power they have over you. When you begin to understand, you know what, I don't have to stay in a dysfunctional relationship to make them happy. What about me? I don't have to stay at a job where they require me to work 80 hours and then they don't compensate me for my talent. I don't have to stay friends or in things or situations that no longer benefit the person I'm becoming. When we begin to do that, some people are going to feel like you owe them. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? They feel like you owe them loyalty. They feel like that you're becoming the person that you are. Your success is because of them. You owe them a part of you because you always bent over for them. And so, when we begin to get free, freedom exposes what was controlling you. Healing reveals what was hiding, and growth awakens what was comfortable and staying small. When you start growing, you realize I can't stay small in this situation. I can't continue to be silent in this matter. I have to speak up. My character is important to me. My value, my self-worth is important to me. I can no longer just be a passive participant in my own life. I want to take control of it, and I want to be the person I want to be. And when you make that decision, there's a whole lot of people that's not going to like it. Because, and then I say this all the time, your growth irritates unhealed people. When you start growing and you really want to become the best version of yourself, you trigger unhealed people. Because they look and go, who does she think she is? Or who does he think he is to try to get whole? You expose, when you become a light and you're trying to become the best version of yourself, you shine. And that forces people to begin to look at their own shadow. So no, they don't want you whole. No, they don't want you leaving that job. No, they don't want you talking about your freedom. No, they don't want you starting your own business. No, they don't want you speaking up for right or wrong. They want to control you because now you're exposing it. And let me tell you something that is real. Everybody has a Pharaoh. Everybody has something or someone that's going to try to pull them back. Everybody knows what it feels like to be chased by what you're trying to outgrow. Everybody knows, everybody has that person in your life that says to you, I remember when. I remember when you used to do this. I remember when you was like this. I remember you were this and they are captured by a version of you that they need to have to fulfill their own life. And no matter where you go, everybody's got a Pharaoh. You've always got somebody that's going to say, I remember when. And then when you try to outgrow them, they're going to chase you. They're going to chase you with your past. They're going to chase you with mistakes you've made. They're going to chase you, with anything that they can. They're going to vomit. And I say vomit. They're going to spill hateful, mean words to you. They're going to talk bad about you. They're going to say things to other people to try to turn them against you. Everybody has a Pharaoh because you're not crazy. You're not imagining it. You're not weak. And you're definitely not alone. You're just an evolution and transformation. And transformation always wakes up the things that benefited from your bondage. When you start transforming yourself, when you start transforming your life and really working on yourself and trying to find the best version of yourself and walk in that unapologetically and authentically, yeah, you're going to irritate some people who benefited from your bondage. There are going to be people who benefited from your silence. There are people who benefited with you from just going along with the path. And you're going to irritate them. And sometimes it's not people chasing you. Sometimes your Pharaoh is you. Sometimes it's your fear. Sometimes it's your self-doubt. Sometimes it's your old identity trying to reclaim you. Sometimes it's the version of you that survived that trauma, that heartbreak, that grief, trying to stop the new version of you from living. Because the internal Pharaoh will whisper, who do you think you are? You're not ready. You're not enough. Go back to what you know. Go back to what's familiar. Go back to what's comfortable. Has that ever happened to anyone? When you are moving and you're trying and I have a show on trying versus training, but I'll come back to that. But when you're training yourself to move forward, that internal Pharaoh will go, who do you think you are? Look at you. Who are you to launch a business? Who are you to go get healed? I remember, and just like the outside Pharaoh that's chasing you throws up your past, your internal Pharaoh will throw up your past too. I remember when. Look at you, trying to be whole and healed and live your life and treat people kind and nice. Look at you. I know who you really are. If they knew, does anybody ever say that? If they really knew the truth about you. That internal Pharaoh wants you to go back to what's familiar and go back to what's comfortable. But hear me and believe me. Those voices, that internal Pharaoh, doesn't own you anymore. So just picture yourself standing at the brink of your Red Sea. Freedom is in front of you. Pharaoh is behind you. Fear is rising up inside of you. And God says, move forward. Not negotiate, not explain, not apologize, not look back. Move forward. Because some of you are standing at your Red Sea moment right now. You feel the pressure. You feel the fear. You feel the fear. You feel the chase. But hear me when I say this. The Red Sea does not open until you move. When Moses stuck out his staff, the Red Sea parted, but it didn't move until they moved. The moment will open for you, but if you don't move, you're just standing there. The sea won't open. You can't get to that side unless you move. So I want to give you three, as we get to 721, I want to give you 3 coaching steps that's going to help you with your liberation and movement till you get to the other side. Number 1, you don't have to fight what's chasing you. Just keep moving forward. Israel didn't turn around and fight Pharaoh. They didn't argue. They didn't justify. They didn't explain. They just kept moving. Some of you are wasting energy trying to fight what God has already freed you from. Stop fighting. Start moving. You are bickering and arguing with things that God has already set you free from. You keep opening doors feeling like you need to get closure from things that no longer have any power over you. Leave it alone. Stop. You don't have to fight what's chasing you. Whatever your faith system is, my faith system tells me that God has gone before me, and He already knows my battles, and anything that I am going to need for warfare, I've already got. So I don't have to fight what's behind me. I don't have to fight what's behind me. What's behind me is behind me for a reason. That season, that situation has ended. You don't have, Israel didn't turn around to fight Pharaoh. You don't argue what's behind you. Stop fighting. Stop looking back. Start moving. Number 2, what's chasing you can't cross the place that God is taking you. Pharaoh chased them, but he couldn't cross the sea. Your past can chase you, but it can't cross into your purpose. Your fear can chase you, but it can't cross into your healing. Your old identity can chase you, but it can't cross into your calling. What it is once you understand that what God got for you, it is for you. It ain't for everybody else. It's for you. And once you understand that what's following you can't go into, that's your past. That's not who you are anymore. Your past can't define you where you're going. Your calling is your calling. What you did 10 years ago is irrelevant to who you are today, unless you're just living in repeated cycles, which we're going to talk about going into June. But when you get ready to cross, Pharaoh can't go with you. Elevation requires separation. Some of us are trying to take Pharaoh into the water with us because we're trying to elevate and drag people with us that can't go on the journey. Sometimes Pharaoh, the very friends that doubted you, didn't support you, won't support your business, won't buy your books, won't do anything, won't support you, but you're trying to drag them along with you. Leave those Pharaohs behind. Because where you're going, they can't go. And number 3, your movement is a miracle. The miracle didn't happen when Moses lifted his staff. The miracle happened when people started stepping forward. Your movement activates your breakthrough. He could have parted the sea and they could have stood there. The sea would have, they would have opened, but what's the miracle in that? The movement. It was the movement. The movement is what activated it. As they moved, deeper parts of the ocean kept opening. When you are ready to move, the movement is your miracle. So this is one of those things, do it afraid, do it fearful, but whatever God's laid on your heart, the movement is the miracle. So the call to action this morning is, I'm telling you, run. Not from life, but toward the light, not from life, but toward the life that God or your higher power is calling you into. Run from that old story. Run from those old patterns. Run from that old identity. Run from the old bondage that held you captive to a version of yourself that did not benefit you. Good morning, Yolanda, my dear friend. Happy Friday to you too as well. Run toward peace. Run toward purpose. Run toward healing. Run toward freedom. Run toward the vision of you, the version of you that's been waiting to live. You have the stamina. You have the strength. You have the clarity. And you now have the training. So, because movement may prepared you for this moment. So say this with me. I'm not going back. I'm not shrinking. I'm not returning to bondage. I'm not negotiating with my past. I am not entertaining my old fears. I am not slowing down for anyone who preferred me broken. I am moving forward. I'm stepping into my freedom. I'm walking in purpose. I'm running toward the life God designed for me, and I will not stop. Jump in the chat and let me know what you think about it's time to run. We understand what things can go with us and some things we need to live behind, but we've developed the stamina for the movement may, and now it is time for us to run. It is time for us to leave those negative thoughts that whether it's an external Pharaoh, friends who didn't believe in you, or people who doubted you, or the internal Pharaoh that's giving that self-doubt. Both of them got to go. We're ready to move into our promised land, to our promised job, to our promised career, to our promised relationship, to the promised version of ourselves that deserve the healing. And none of it can go with you. Okay, so look at that. So movement may be ending, but the momentum is not. You've built the stamina. You've built the strength. You've built the courage. You've sat with me for these 4 weeks, these 5 weeks, and now we're ready to move. So now go live like someone who's free. Go live like someone who knows they're free. I want to give my love notes today. My first love note, I actually have 3. My first love note goes to Damian Talley. I can always depend on him to make me laugh. He can say, I just think about things he said to me and I just bust out laughing. So Damian, thank you for always making me laugh. Yes, Anita, it's time to run. Yes, ma'am. It's full sprint. You got the stamina to do it. My second love note goes to Jan Orton. I think I've given her a love note before, but I want to give her a love note today because she made a post, and she's a positive content creator too, but she talked about people not living their full life. And what I want to encourage, I loved her post because she said it's sad when people are not living the life that they're called to live. And you look at other people and go, I wonder how they do it. Don't worry about how they doing it. Go get yours. So Jen, I wanted to say this post this morning was dead on time. I loved it. Thank you. Keep standing on that. And the last one, I love note goes to Aunt Devon. She's the internet auntie. I'm going to put her link in here below. I always believe in supporting my fellow coaches, my fellow small business owners. So today I'm going to put her link in there. Let's like and follow and share her page as well. So today's reading comes from one of my books, The Places of My Familiar. This is my story about my journey out of Exodus. It's called The Places of My Familiar, A Quiet Journey Through Survival and Silence, a memoir, a mirror, and a map for the healing heart. I definitely am this time going to put the link in there for Amazon. This is one of my most personal, intimate books. But I'm going to come in chapter 7 because this is timely for today. Chapter 7, The Exodus Within. Healing didn't come in one sweeping moment. It came in 1,000 quiet choices. I didn't wake up whole. I built wholeness. With every no to dysfunction, every yes to healing, every step away from what was familiar but harmful, I started journaling. Not just to vent, but to listen. To hear the voice beneath the noise, to trace the patterns, to name the pain. I prayed, not always with words, sometimes with tears, sometimes with silence, sometimes with nothing but a breath. I meditated. I sat still. I let the ache rise. I let the truth speak. I joined support groups. I sat in circles. Listened to stories that mirrored mine, spoke my own, trembling at first, but then became stronger. Sometimes I isolated, not to hide, but to heal, to be alone with myself long enough to remember who I was. Every step was a choice. Each choice was an act of self-love, and each act of self-love was a declaration. I matter. And it cost me. Friendships, family, relationships that once meant everything. But I found me. And despite all my past mistakes, all the failures, all the detours, I can finally look at my life and say, I'm proud of what didn't break me. The Places of My Familiar. Small book, powerful book. And again, I want to thank you for joining me today at 7:32. If you've hung with me to the end, I just want to let you know that I love you, that I appreciate you, that whether you watch me live or you watch me later, know that I value you 100%. If you find this information beneficial, please like, share the video. Send it to your friends and family. Send it to people who you know and you're telling them it is time to run. I love y'all. I'm proud of y'all. Thanks for this wonderful process of Movement May. Let's get ready to run. I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.